Over my years as a realtor in Waterloo region, I've had the pleasure of meeting plenty of successful person. Here are some of their stories. Welcome to People Around Town. I'm going to say the word, it's going to date me, but I'm stoked. I'm absolutely stoked to have Dorothy McCabe, the mayor of Waterloo, here with me. We had to reschedule, and I expected like 5 reschedules. We only had to reschedule
just one.
Because her people come first, and we're shooting in Kitchener, so it kind of is what it is.
I cross the border sometimes.
Well, you do. There's some people that I heard. There's a gentleman that owns a lot of property in downtown Kitchener, and apparently he didn't go into Waterloo for like 10 years.
Okay.
As a point of note, if people want to comment below if they think they know who that is.
Oh, okay.
But
I think I might know, but I'm not going to. We're not going to speculate.
We're not going to out him here, and that's not what this is about. So this isn't about this is honestly even sort of current events. Kind of couldn't care less.
Okay.
I do care, but the timeliness of them, not what I find, and I actually do this for me, is I get motivated by successes. Okay?
Yeah.
Success leaves clues. You've heard that term. And there's no doubt in my mind that if you become a mayor, you are a success with the few mistakes made along the way, Rob Ford and Marion Barry, but anyways, lessons learned from them.
Sure.
Glean what you will. So, Dorothy McCabe is here. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Fantastic to be here. Thanks for doing this.
My absolute pleasure.
I'm always interested in talking to people who really care about the community in, whichever sector or all of the sectors
I care about the community. I also just care about, I guess, revealing the successes that go on here.
There's a lot of good stuff that happens in Waterloo and Waterloo region. There's no question.
Which is amazing. And now, for yourself, you started in Arthur, correct?
I did. Yes, you did do your homework.
Well,
Hello to all the Arthur people.
That's right. See, that's exactly it. And we had Neil Aitchison here, and he was from Harrison, up the way.
Not far.
There's a gentleman I want to bring down from Mount Forest shortly, because he's around the town enough that he will classify in People Around Town podcast.
Okay.
Normally I don't bring other realtors, but this guy is a realtor and mortgage broker, whatever. He's one of those other guys. Bill Nelson, if you ever heard the name.
Oh, yes, Bill Nelson. He helped my parents I actually grew up on a farm outside of Arthur, and then when my parents sold the farm and moved into Mount Forest, Bill Nelson was the realtor they used. So connections everywhere. And I should give a little shout out to my brother, who is a counselor in Wellington North, like in that Kenilworth area.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, now, was he a counselor first?
He was, yeah. He's been, I think he's in his 3rd term. Yeah.
And was a matter that he's having all your brother's having all the fun, and as a good competitive sister, you're like, oh, counselor, that's not bad. Try mayor. Yeah.
That's right. Always one-upping him.
Okay, so I might circle back to Arthur, because to me there's a sort of peace that comes over me when I go driving that way.
Okay.
Once you sort of pass Rothsay and whoever okayed that, I guess the plant has to be somewhere. That smell. So once you get past that, then it's a beautiful time.
It is a beautiful area.
And what's the saying for Mount Forest? High, happy, and
high, happy, and healthy.
There you go. Had different connotations when they brought that one out, but it is what it is, and we didn't pass that law.
No.
So whatever choices be there, that's done.
It's all legal.
It's all legal
now.
Pretty much. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. Okay. Well, you graduated with a communications and history degree.
I did.
At Laurier, from Laurier, first, before the master's of public administration at Western. So Laurier first, because the most important part of that is I want to know who you have in the March Madness, because apparently you were on the basketball team.
I was. I sat on the bench. I did a lot of what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
But I was on the team. But you know what? March Madness, I don't even follow it. I go to some of the Laurier games.
Oh, yes.
The women's and the men's, and I've gone to some of the Titans, but I don't follow. I don't follow NCAA.
And I don't follow it until 2 days before I have to bring out my bracket, in which case then I just go deep on it. And so far, so good. I'm second in the brokerage right now. So we'll see.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't have a name to throw out there.
But enough of that. Sort of, again, I don't want to be too timely with sort of what I'm asking and going. But from, again, a double major, plus on the basketball team, like, did you have extra time? Or, like, what was your motivate? Did you have, did you know you were going to be here now or in public administration at the time when you jumped into, So when you went to university, what was in Mayor McCabe's mind in terms of what were we coming down to Arthur to accomplish?
It's interesting because Waterloo has, we're so lucky to have Laurier, UW, and Conestoga College's campus there, and so I see students all the time. I was just at a University of Waterloo, an event there today when we had the Consul General from Holland over, so there was there's some exchanges happening on a research level. Anyway, the point is, like, when I see what students are doing now, it's incredible. Like, I wonder what I did with my time when I was in university, because these students are coming up with, I don't know if you've heard of Socratica, like where they have this making culture, and, students who are doing for extracurricular, like all kinds of research and creations. I wasn't doing that, but I am a hard worker.
Sure.
I grew up on a farm. And anyone who grows up on a farm is a hard worker, so it's built into my DNA. And it's time management, so I did my schoolwork. I mean, I should say to any of you kids watching, go to classes, because I missed a lot of classes in my first year, and that affects your marks.
Yeah.
So I was much more diligent in my remaining time. But no, I mean, it's about time management and using the time you have, like studying while you're on the bus in transit to places. And, I also worked at Wilf's.
At the same time.
As well.
As basketball
at some of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, had to afford to put myself through school, right? I'm from a big family, and there was OSAP only goes so far.
Yeah, you can only slice the pie so many ways before it.
No, but I went into that. I don't know that I had a real sort of direction. I mean, I had thought at one point I wanted to go into journalism, but I just knew from a young age, like my parents, my mom particularly, who was a teacher, was like, all of you are going to post-secondary education.
Awesome.
That is, that was never really a question. And they figured out through OSAP loans primarily and some grants how to get us there. Because at one point, I have 5 sisters and one brother. And at one point, 5 of us were in post-secondary education, some time. Finishing when I started. So working was required as well, just to,
make it work.
Yeah, make it work. But it was a great experience, and Laurier has grown tremendously since then.
Oh, yes.
And as I said before, I really like getting back on campus, whether it's for basketball game or one of their homecoming games, or I was there a couple of weeks ago to do like a career development evening with some students that they had organized, or there's just always so many opportunities. We have City Hub with the university, or with Wilfrid Laurier, where we give them some problems and students do the research and come back to us with proposed solutions. So anyway, the universities are so interconnected with the city, and it's a really great partnership.
That's awesome. Do you have to get sign off from somebody at Laurier before you go and do something at University of Waterloo? It's like, I'm going there because it's my job.
No.
Whatever.
I helped drop the puck at the women's national hockey championships that UW was hosting. That was Friday night? Friday. I forget. Thursday night or Friday night last week.
Under your breath, go Hawks?
Yeah. I love them both.
and you should, but it should be obvious to the Warriors, and they're all Warriors now, not Athenas.
They're all Warriors.
They're all Warriors now. You should be.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. I didn't know that there was a...
It used to be the Warriors and the Athenas before.
Oh, okay. Are you from... Did you go to UW?
No, I'm actually the Western U College Fair and Square. That's me. 3-year degree. I didn't go to class enough. That's why I'm a realtor. So it's okay. We learn.
My husband's a realtor, too, and he has a master's as well. So it's...
Fair enough. I have a master's in other stuff, but I just
I'm sure
not
you do.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, but speaking of degrees, your communications, and I see that bright and shiny right now.
Yeah.
So I'll say, Dorothy's met me before at different sort of events, but she's always so nice the whole time. All I know is I liked her. It's as simple as that. She didn't get a vote from me because I live in Kitchener, but I'm like, hey, if we ever combined and conglomerated these two cities, Barrie might get beat. So the only way you have to come defend yourself.
Those were your words.
I'm just saying, you're a nice guy, Barrie, but I'm just saying
it's
you're not
good to
here.
know that you think amalgamation is a good idea.
If it ever, I don't. Well, we'd have to figure out if we are allowed to have fires in our backyard or not. That would be key, right? And I think
we could revisit that if
there'd be a lot of problems.
I'd be willing to move on that if we could move on.
If we can move on this, okay. Well, then I do have people and you have people, but again, we're not circling around that. So communications,
yes,
we're good at that.
Okay.
It seems to be the case. I feel that you're great at communications
thank you.
now.
Yeah.
Your points have been clear and far more direct than my, I don't know, wording, musing, whatever, lollygagging almost. Okay, so you also took history.
I did. Canadian history.
Canadian history.
I don't know how much I remember of it, though.
What, is there anything from, I think you remember a fair bit. What sort of thing that did you pull that you sort of think back to from, like, lessons learned perspective?
Oh, okay. Well, so I can certainly think of something that was not that we didn't study, and that was a lot of it First Nations or anything like that. Like that was, as I reflect back, the more we learn and the more I continue to learn about our very dark history with our First Nations and Indigenous people. Sorry, I shouldn't say but First Nations and Indigenous people. The more I realize, like, the gap in knowledge that I had, and there was very little, if anything, covered of that in our Canadian history courses. A lot of it was around women's roles in, when women started to come into the workplace and different societal things that were happening, post-World War I and post-World War II and things of that nature. But yeah, that's a glaring gap from, my grade school, high school, and certainly university. I think that's changed.
And I guess I don't even know who really would set the curriculum for a university necessarily, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know about it, how do you teach it?
Mm-hmm. I know they have Dr. Darren Thomas, who's the Vice President, I believe, of Indigenous Affairs at Wilfrid Laurier, and certainly there's Dr. Jean Becker at UW, who runs their Indigenous Affairs office. She just retired, so I'm not sure who's in, but they would have some influence, and I believe, into like curriculum and courses and things like that. I don't know how the courses get selected or those kind of things, but
if you're not taught the information, how do you know the information?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100%.
So you know what I mean? So like that's my thought is how does you can't get mad to say you didn't teach me that, and the person can be like, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, how can you be a doctorate of it? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
It was, I mean, it's things that...
It's crazy, though.
Yeah. There's just large pieces of our history that were
and so I guess the thing
out.
The thing to be learned about that is you only know what you know. Mm-hmm. So I guess know enough to understand you need to learn more.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, and keep asking questions. Yeah, and so there's a lot more information out there now, and people, leaders locally, and authors from First Nations communities. So. And we have invested at the City of Waterloo in reconciliation, and I mean investing like our time and some of our resources and better understanding what the city's role is in that and what that looks like. But there's a lot of work to do there. There's no question.
So that actually, and I had some ideas. And it normally goes like this. I have a couple ideas, and then it just then the onion just starts getting peeled. So, as mayor. how is it? I'm just thinking of it, sort of how it plays out. So something new, unexpected, comes down the pipe, right? Like, let's say, for instance, all the craziness that went on with these schools, right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah, you mean that? You're right. Yeah.
For instance, and then something new comes in, and it's left field. You didn't know about it, but then you barely even have a moment to breathe before there's microphones in your face and statements and everything. How do you collect yourself in short order before responding?
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we're lucky at the city. We do have, we have staff to support us with with responding to, things that happen in the media, things that are happening with other orders of government, or things that are happening just more broadly in the community, who, can do some research or have some information to provide, so that, to try and very quickly read up what I can on an issue that kind of comes out of the blue.
Yeah.
But certainly, I think, and we also have a ready team at the city who really tracks a lot of different issues.
They have an idea that could be coming.
Things that are that are happening, and internally, some of the work is internal and some of the work is external. So, they kind of keep a broader eye on the external environment. But I have to say, when I became mayor, and before I got elected, I used to work for Carl Zaire.
Correct.
Yes, he was the former mayor of Kitchener, and I worked for an MPP. And, they were never asked, well, I don't recall them being asked, to really comment on global issues, right? But in the past 3 years, just with what's happening in, pick a country right now, right? Like, in residents who live here, who are originally from some other country, who are, often kind of, they're saying, we're demanding, please speak up about this and that. And it's like, the local municipality really doesn't have a role in these kind of, and it's like, I can't pick sides. I don't know enough about these issues to really be able to comment, on one side or the other. So on some things, we just try to say, look, like,
or do you notice any of these issues trickling here locally? Because we could put a
there's rallies that happen sometimes in our public square that, that are sparked by things that are global issues that are, anything from Ukraine or Sudan or, the invasion of Venezuela,
anything.
Right. These things sort of just emerge. And so we're obviously aware of them happening, but I really just try to tell people, that's either a federal, you should speak to our federal representatives.
You're gonna get further.
Yeah, with that, because we don't have a role that we play in there.
That's fair.
But also, it's just, how do you, there's enough to keep up to speed on just at the city of Waterloo and the region of Waterloo, never mind trying to monitor global events.
Well, that's what and again, it made me think of something else. So you have this ready team.
Yes.
If I had a ready team, I'd say, don't tell me about it unless it's like real close to being real. Because then that's one more thing to think about.
Well, it's important. Ready, I should maybe specify, as like reconciliation, equity, accessibility, diversity, and inclusion. It's not like ready, like let's get ready.
It's like this craziness is, and sorry, that still counts. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like a ready
it's
team.
Still,
like,
it's ready with an
this
eye.
This issue is festering over here. This issue is festering over here. I don't want to know about those things because I'm trying to fix
there's
the
still
potholes. And I know that's not your fault. That's our climate.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so if we want to roll this into a climate
they're very difficult to control in this weather.
Yes, that's fine.
Well, I like to refer to them sometimes as just natural speed calming.
It is speed calming, and actually road. You got to pay attention.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Yeah.
But people who live in Waterloo or Waterloo region, we have the great benefit of people who've come to our community from all over the world, all over Canada. I came to Waterloo as a student, and a lot of people come that way. They come as a student and they decide to stay, which is fantastic. Yeah. So it's not that I don't want to be aware of what's happening, because these are residents, right? And we try to, I do try to have a level of awareness around, kind of generally what are people experiencing in their own lives, because
I think you're probably past generally on that.
Everything we do has some kind of impact on people's lives. So
true.
So, I mean, I try to keep up with current events and continue to read, and a lot of it is going out and talking to people, right? Because you learn a lot just at these events. And speaking one-on-one with people, and they tell you what's happening, and it's a great continual learning opportunity for me.
I know you're learning, but you're also, I gotta figure you get to go for some ribbon cuttings, which are probably fun, right? And you get to go for some puck drops which are fun. You have your mayor's dinner coming,
yes,
which could be fun. I said it. I've never been to a mayor's dinner, so I don't know. It could be fun.
It's a fantastic group of people who gather.
Okay, so then that's fun. But a lot of your job is dealing with fires and issues that you don't necessarily have full control over or full latitude to fix, whether it's by means of time or money. Mm-hmm. Right? Pretty much.
We don't have enough money, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you serve a term, right? Mm-hmm. And so unless we give you that Marjorie Carroll stamp, which I think you're working for, right? I used to be from Waterloo, so I know.
I'm like, you've really done your homework.
No, I was Waterloo boy.
Okay.
First, I'm married a Kitchener girl, so guess where I went.
Okay.
Right, that's how that goes. Nothing new there.
Yeah.
But you're putting out time or money. You can only do so much. Mm-hmm. And then there's always the next thing, and everything has merit. Don't get me wrong, because I think yourself and your team and your staff are able to. You need to have a team to sort of. The term is, I'm not going to say weed out, but there's probably still a couple things that are weeds in there, and you can only do so much. How do you know you've done all you can that day? How do you go to sleep?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a really good question. I normally have no problem sleeping because I'm generally pretty tired. And I also, as I said before, I do work out at Sid Fitz Health Center, so I'm usually physically very tired from that. But, we have at the city, like most cities, we have a strategic plan that we had a great deal of citizen input, and we put that together about 3 years ago, and we do one. The next term of council we'll start this fall to prepare for the next strategic plan, and we really have made an effort in reaching out to people that we don't normally get a chance to talk to, or who don't normally kind of put their hands up and share their information with us. So we really feel like we have a pretty good representation from a wide swath of Waterloo who provides their input into our strategic plan. All that to say, they tell us what they want the city to be and what we should be thinking about for the long term. So we distill that into into our major buckets that informs all of the staff work and their business plans. So
that's
in terms
focus.
of
That's
trying to
schedule or timeline, we're if we're behind on time on that, these are the reasons why. Otherwise, we're ahead, and then maybe some of these things could be under-resourced, which would be great.
Yeah, I mean, there's core things that cities need to do. Yeah. Like you said, fill in the potholes. We're getting to them. There's a lot of them.
There's been some fixes recently.
Yeah. The major infrastructure, of course, is core services, recreation services, our parks, our libraries. Like those are core services, but with the city the council that I'm the head of, one of the things that we decided to really take a pretty bold step with was, again, in responding to, it came through clearly in our strategic plan that there's just, you're a realtor, there's an problem with housing, and so we really took a look at what could we do as a city. We don't build houses. We obviously are very involved in the planning process and land development and all that. We don't actually build the homes.
Right.
But we decided as a council that we would take a major step in this. And so we, a couple of years ago, started the process. It was built out of the first affordable housing strategy that Waterloo's ever passed. That was back in March 2023. Anyway, the upshot of it is we did a lot of work. We had a 25-acre piece of property that's out by Rim Park.
Yes.
And we decided, what we would do with the support of the federal government, because they had some funding, was that we would free up that land, which was originally employment land, but employment has shifted so much, like people really want to be closer to the core.
Correct.
Over 25 years, we weren't able to activate that land as employment land. So we converted it to residential, and we are working with Habitat for Humanity and some private sector developers. And we're going to turn that into, it's becoming the biggest affordable housing project in Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's an example of when we're, it's like
I know I knew it was a big project.
It's it's big. I mean, the goal is to have 1,000 housing units there.
Wow.
And there'll be from 1 bedroom up to like 4 or 5 bedrooms, so for larger families. And it'll be a mixed community. There'll be deeply affordable, and then with the Habitat for Humanity component, there'll be the attainable housing that people can take an equity stake, like buy one of the units, and then as they outgrow that space or get enough equity, they can sell it. Habitat will keep it so it will remain in public hands, and then they'll move on. So it's going to be a really fantastic community. The first shovel for the first building will go in the ground either late spring or early summer this year. So we're really excited about that.
And I appreciate you as a mayor, but working with builders enough, I will just say summer. Just say summer.
There's a really good,
just say summer.
It's interesting because the private sector came to us and other municipalities with this idea of we're never going to solve the affordability problem here. Like we need thousands of affordable units, and getting 10 here and 20 there and maybe 100 in another place. It's just sort of nibbling around the edges. So it was them that came to us and said, if we had a partnership with the cities provide the land.
Yes.
We did get some of the value back for the land from the federal government.
Good.
But so if the land is there, and then nonprofit who know the type of housing some of their people that they're serving need, and then the private sector can bring their expertise in the actual building, and they're not taking they don't have to build in profit margins in that because they don't own the land.
Just contingencies to make sure they're not taking a hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is the way this is the partnership that we've developed. And we've also, to go back to the University of Waterloo, there's a Future Cities initiative that was started by Kaivan. It's a developer out of Ottawa. Anyway, they fund. Yeah, I'm going down a rabbit. But they are Future Cities initiative is also involved with this to just study how is this planning process working.
Okay.
How could we maybe take what we've learned from here and into other planning processes to speed it up, make it more streamlined, etc.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a big project. It's kind of outside of the regular work that the municipality at the City of Waterloo would traditionally have taken on, but it's kind of part of what the times call for, and part of what I ran on were big ideas. So
that's a big one. Beautiful. Okay, so that gives me an idea or a question. It's a question that, if not answered properly, it's an idea. How's that? Okay, so you got these ideas for the different metrics and ways to do things better. And then good old Waterloo has to scale it up better than anybody else in Canada. I want to say the world, but we don't know that yet.
That's how Waterloo works.
If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. We came here to play.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so do mayors meet up and have mayor conferences?
We do. There's in Ontario we have a caucus called the Ontario Big City Mayors Caucus, and so right now it's if your municipality has over 100,000 people, you're part of that group.
Okay.
we've reorganized ourselves over the last couple of years, and a lot of it they're really valuable forums. We meet every 2 months,
okay,
and discuss a wide variety of things, but primarily things that are common across all municipalities, and then we come up with shared positions, and then we talk to the federal and provincial government around, here's something that we all agree.
Oh, that's
we
simple.
need.
That makes life easier for them, though, too.
Yeah. These are things that, as municipalities, who know our communities best, these are requests that we have of the provincial. Mostly our work is with the provincial government, but also we do some with the feds as well.
Okay.
And then on top of that, those are just meetings. And then, of course, because everything has associations, there's the Association of Municipalities of Ontario. It's like 150 years old.
Oh, geez.
And they're like a lobby organization, and they provide a lot of education and learning opportunities for municipalities, right? Because there's really tiny municipalities and all the way up to Toronto. So there's. I
don't even know what Toronto is anymore.
Yeah, it's it's big.
It's a thing.
But they're part of this as well, and I'm on the board of AMO, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and we have an annual conference where, there's probably 3,000, 3,500 people come. And we have seminars, we've got learning
breakout sessions that you go to think what do you think your city needs, so you go, I'm going to hit this breakout session.
And there'll be things about best practices, like the project I just described. I suggested, hey, you should have us as one of the sessions, and people could ask us about it. But there's everything from the operation of a city, because there's, of course, all kinds of, they're big organizations, to, things about infrastructure, et cetera. But then there's also a big lobbying component as well. A lot of the provincial cabinet comes, and we have conversations with the various ministers. And
I was going to ask that question. So how, in what ways does local real estate then overlap with provincial and federal sort of real estate? I say real estate?
Yeah.
Wow. How about politics?
Subliminal. You just must love your job.
I do love my job, kind of the same way when I used to sell cars. I had a tough time referring to a home as a home. I would say, you're really going to love this new car. I said that for about a year. Anyways, I'll get over it. It's not about me. It's about you. Luckily, she's the one that's getting interviewed. Right. Circling back. The overlap between local and regional and provincial and federal. Mm-hmm. Is there a proper sort of mechanism to make this happen, or is it just it doesn't happen? Because I know there's some flow between the people, right?
Yeah.
That flow in and out. But how does they are part of the same body?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
And it can be very complex, or maybe complicated, and
because the thing about you, for the most part, you're not in a party.
So I'm not in a party.
So that should help you be a little bit of an amoeba. However, if people dig into your history, then they're going to say, oh, you might have affiliations to such and such.
Yeah.
However, I've also learned that politicians' beliefs can change over time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, if you're curious, like you said you are, and you're interested in learning, and you learn new things, the more you learn, you probably should change your perspective on some things, and as new information comes forward, right? It makes sense to change your position. But one of the things that I worked for 7 years for a member of provincial parliament in Kitchener Centre. And then I went to Carl Zare's office, and what I found is that I really like the municipal level of government because you're independent. right? And you can, for my campaign in 2022, it wasn't like, okay, what's the party running on? It's like, I'd done all kinds of, listening and talking to people in the community. I'd done a lot of volunteer work in that. So it was like, this is what I think this is what I've heard people telling me. Right. So these are my ideas that I got to put forward. And then, so that's really empowering, right? You get to,
and you can be around to see it and sort of own it.
Yeah. And so I find that really empowering, and so I just think being mayor is a fantastic job.
So in terms of the movement towards provincial and federal, your first move would be to call your MP. Would if that was something that had to. And I guess I would say if a mayor called their MP with an issue that not only they found to be an issue, but probably was brought to them with some higher level of insight through the vehicles that you have at your disposal, you got to be a pretty dumb MP not to actually put a little bit of weight into it. Now, that's not saying, Waterloo people, don't bug Dorothy for a question that should... We can cut that
isn't
part.
Dumb. Our MP isn't dumb.
But I'm just joking with you. I'm not talking about the MP. I'm talking about the people. With their issue on a federal level, but they want your ear because it's going to hold more weight to go through.
People get it mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
It's actually... And in Waterloo... We have, in our city hall, I don't know if it's the only city hall like this in Canada, but we have my office is on the 3rd floor, and across, like there's 2 arms, and across the other arm of it, Bardish Jagger, who's our MP, she's on that side. Helpful. We rent her space, and then underneath on the 2nd floor is Catherine Fife, who's our MPP.
Yes.
So...
You guys better learn to get along.
Oh, yeah. People get it mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
Because it is confusing. Yeah. And so we can at least easily say, no, you need to go over here, or they say, no, you need to come over here. But we redirect emails and people pretty frequently. But we also, as a mayor, certainly I like to work as closely as I can with our elected officials from other orders of government, because like we rely on federal funding, we rely on some provincial funding as well. So we need some strong advocates who are interested in working with, mayors, and every mayor, I think, would say that, right? You need a good, productive relationship to be able to say, this is, if you've got funding for one thing that you can bring to Waterloo, here's the number one priority, right? So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. All right. So now I get to ask just some fun stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to ask it. So what personally, just personally.
Okay. Got it.
What are your top 3 favorite events in Waterloo?
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I asked you.
I can't answer that.
You can't?
Well, my own State of the City. How about that?
There you go.
Which is April 16th. Tickets are still available.
State of the City.
We're raising money for... One of the things I really like about it is, it brings together a big group of people from the community, but we partner with Rotary, Waterloo, and we raise money usually around 20-ish to 22 or $23,000.
Oh, wonderful!
And it's for a local charities, and then for some community grants as well. So yeah, it's a great. So that's
one.
Well, I don't think this event will be repeated, but there was not last summer, the summer before. Waterloo has some really interesting people who live in it, and one of the women, she passed away. She was Dr. Anna Innes-Dagg. She's the giraffe lady.
Yes.
Yeah, and they made a stamp for her, or the Canadian historical moments. Yes. They made one of those for her. Look it up; it's great. Anyway, so to honor her after she passed, the neighborhood. They got together, and the city has these mini grants that we provide to bring neighbors together. Correct. Anyway, so over the course of 2 or 3 weekends, any of the neighbors, and there were really young kids to, adults who got together, and they made giraffe heads.
And then
and then paraded them.
That's so cool.
And they did a walk around Waterloo Park with music, and it was this whole tribute to Dr. Anna Stagg, and it was fantastic. So I don't think that'll ever be repeated.
But it's so cool, and I might let you off the hook because you've been such a quality guest. I'm not going to hit you with a third unless you want it. But I think it doesn't happen a lot, but when you live in a town and then something happens, you're part of an experience, and it still feels like home, but it doesn't just feel like the town.
Yeah.
Right? My only experience with that was way back when through, I guess it was Laurier, or maybe it was, but I got voluntold to sponsor the Steel Rails event.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was finished that one, and I said to I got off this train, and I'm like, that was really cool. This doesn't, that's here.
Yeah,
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, we're really fortunate with some of the people in the artistic community who create things like that. Yeah. You know, the third event that I will say is a city event is Lumen.
Lumen's so cool.
Oh yeah, Lumen is just out of this world.
Yes.
It's so great that the city, I think we're in our sixth or seventh year.
Anywhere. No,
sixth or every year. Yeah. It's like, it's incredible how many people come out to that. Yeah. Incredible.
And the feel of it.
Oh yeah. People are everywhere. People of every, age and stage of life and ability and income level, and it's just a massive community out there, which is a lot of fun.
I think that's for me. I enjoy it, but for you, it's like. That's where like just give me let me just enjoy this moment.
Yeah, and I just think it's so incredible to see that many people come out to experience community and to want to be together and to celebrate this, right? And to just enjoy being around other people they don't know who they are, and you can just be like, oh my gosh, what do you think of that? And and start 100%. To kind of build connections. It's a really fantastic event.
And I love how you keep the square open for different events. I'll give a little story. My dad locked himself out of his apartment. Sorry, Dad, but you did. And he couldn't, I forget where I was, or he couldn't get a hold of me, so I had the backup key. And so luckily he had the garage door opener to get into his apartment and so forth, to his condo. But he's like, I had nothing to do, so it was a Thursday night in the middle of the summer, and he sat out and watched people salsa dance.
Oh, yeah, the salsa in the square.
And he goes, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I know, to me, it's those moments and it's the culture that has been created, and that, to me, you're helping ameliorate and get better and better. Mm-hmm. And I was just honored to have you join the podcast. I'm welling up a little bit. Yeah. You're wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And I also want to say,
any parting words, please.
The BIA in our uptown area, which has been awarded, as one of the best BIAs in Ontario, like, they put a ton of time and effort into events like that as well. Like, but salsa in the square, and we do campfires. We do. There's a Tuesday night. I forget what it's called, but it's another dancing opportunity. I'm just blanking right now. Oh. Skate night, date night. Like there's just uptown comfort food crawl. There'll be an Easter egg hunt in Uptown in a couple of weeks. There's treats on the streets. There's between the city and then some third party event organizers like Buskers and the Sun Life Jazz Festival and groups like that, and then also the BIA, like, they keep that uptown really, really busy and vibrant. And then, of course, we've got great retailers there too, so there's always a reason to come back. That
reminds me, I'm going to interview some of those retailers. I'm just going to make some phone calls.
There's some of them that have been there. Oh my gosh, Frank's Jewelers is 120 years in business, and the Ontario Seed, Wordsworth celebrated its 40th last year. Ethel's and Jane Bond are turning 31 this year. Of course, the Hoother.
I remember when it was a KFC.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's Oh, the Ontario Seed Company, that's Home Hardware. They're about 130 years that they've been there. Like Vincenzo's is 60 plus. Like
it's true.
Stag Shop. They're 50 something. 1973. I had these in my State of the City last year. That's why
I would say Stag Shop. Did you see the Aitchison interview?
No.
There's a joke that's related to that in that one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So in the midst of all the craziness that happens right now, and I honestly believe that there's a ton of craziness that has always been going on. Mm-hmm. But we just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Right? But in the midst of all that, it's a wonderful time to be alive.
It is, yeah. And for me, I think, it comes back to community, right? Like all the different things that people do in Waterloo to build community with new neighbors or people who've lived there for, years or decades. They care about the community and are constantly looking to try and make it better, and that's part of why I love being mayor, because there's people like that who I get to work with all the time.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for leaving, Jaworski.
I didn't ask him to say that, Dave.
I said it. You can get on this too and say what you need to. All right, absolute pleasure. I have honestly monopolized your time, but she's too gracious to say otherwise. But no, Dorothy McCabe, mayor, and will you run again?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Just re-elect. Done.
Yeah.
All right, got.
I might take that and put it on that.
Yeah.
Just re-elect her.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.